you guys. It's me, Dr. Torie. My book is officially out. And yes, it is time to talk about ACEs. You guys can find the books everywhere. However, I would encourage you guys to go to my website, VicTORIEus.com, and place your order today. Yes, it's time to talk about ACEs. Let's go, y'all.
Hello, 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 you guys. Welcome to another episode of Be Victorious. I have my favorite person in the whole wide world here joining us. When I have never met anybody as busy as him, it is a pleasure. When I mean pleasure and honor to introduce you guys to my producer because he has been so busy handling business. Where are you, Marv? Let us know what you've been doing.
What's up? I'm here.
I mean, people have been asking about you. When I tell y'all I've never met anybody as busy. I think I'm busy. Marv has been everywhere. I've been trying to keep up with him. I've been letting you guys know. I will share his movie is doing so well, you guys. He is everywhere. I think the last time I gave you guys an update, we were in Dallas. He got other stuff up his sleeve. Let's be clear. Marv, what's
But
been
I, but
going
I
on
always
with
make
you?
time for be victorious fam, right?
You do.
So we
That's
are,
why I love you so
yeah.
much.
So
You
and
do.
we've been doing good, man.
Yeah.
We coming up on 100 episodes pretty soon.
Yeah. I just remember when we talked about it again. I will always give the credit to you. Thank you so much for believing in me. And look at us. Like, yeah, yeah. We up there.
How
But
you
what
how you how you feeling about the podcast? And because we started off and shout out to our initial guest, right?
mm-hmm.
We had people on that were like, you know, I guess what you call like salt of the earth
Yes.
people sharing their stories. And, now everybody's the same, right? But now we got some people like we're starting to get the people that started the ACEs study,
Yeah, man.
know
It's
that
it's
on
it's
here.
happening and it's
Yeah.
going and it's humbling because that means it lets me know that when people say, "Oh, I'm walking in my purpose," like I feel it for real.
Mhm.
Like I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know that this is it. Look at all the value that has been added. You know what I mean? Look at this community that has been built. Look at everything that is going on for both of us. You know what I mean? We're learning and growing together. And I think that's the humbling part about it because you have been a not just an asset, just learning and supporting ACEs just as much as I do. I mean, you share it with everybody and everywhere. So I gotta thank you so much for that, seriously.
That's no problem. Yeah, I mean, because I remember when we first started the show, I was like, I don't know if I could do this because
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah,
were sharing some stories that I was like, I ain't built for this. And now, I've toughened up and
yes, I'm
I
proud
can
of you.
hear the stories.
I'm proud of you.
And I found out because I remember when I first started, I remember I said, I was like, I got a one. Fuck y'all talking about? I got a one.
Yeah,
But
and you stuck
now,
with that one for a long
but now
time.
I was like, well, wait a minute, now the more I think about it, I might be two, three, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
you know what you're supposed to say, right? When I say I'm a two or three, what you supposed to say?
There's nothing wrong with your ACEs score.
No, no, no.
That no, I'm not getting to participate. No,
No,
that that
you're supposed to say, and that's okay.
Oh, I normally do. Listen, because there's nothing wrong with it. I was telling somebody the other day, we had the conversation about spiritual trauma. And, you know, just having that conversation, I was like, hey, what was said was there's a drug issue. And it was like, yeah, there's a drug issue. And she was like, no, when we were younger, we used to get drugged to church. And
Mm.
that's the reason why people that are adults don't want to because they were drugged. And I was like, oh, the analogy is all of that. I think I have spiritual trauma, like, because I used to get drugged to church. So you got to understand, this has opened up a whole platform where not just people are talking about ACEs, they actually want to see if the things that they went through are defined as ACEs. They're really learning. And I think that's what I love about it. So, no,
That's
it's
crazy
okay
because
to
I
have your ACEs.
remember, I mean, as a kid, we didn't have a choice, right?
Nope.
Now, I remember going to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't as uh I'm gonna say dogmatic, or we weren't as ardent as a lot of people. So like
Right.
Sunday school, devotion, church, and I went to old school church. So you were
Me too.
there 9 a.m.
Yeah. Cake
and then
walks.
and then
Yeah.
you didn't leave until 2:30,
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Choir
And
rehearsal.
then some people had to come back for evening church.
Bible study. Hmm.
Thankfully, I didn't have to do
No, I did.
that.
I'm a preacher grandchild. Shout out Reverend J.C. Slaughter. Love him to death. He is amazing. Up in heaven doing his thing. But let's be clear, I was at church every day. Pastor's grandchild.
Mm, yeah,
Mhm.
I wasn't. I wasn't built for that. And thankfully, my parents weren't. But I will say that, and then we can move on from. Kind of, there's people that got like church hurt. I could see how church hurt could come about
Mhm.
because my family wasn't always treated the best
Mhm.
because of some of the things that my pops was into,
Right.
right? But there were men in the church that made sure that I learned what I needed to learn about manhood. And I,
Mhm.
I give them all respect because I had a father that did what he knew best, right? But
Right.
thankfully there was other people that could stand in the gap and could help develop me as a man. And honestly, I'm thankful because I hear these stories and I was like, some people, it wasn't like that. Some
Right.
of the men in their lives didn't do right. They did
Mhm.
horrific things, or
Mhm.
they set horrific examples. So that wasn't me, but yeah. So
Nope.
I'm looking at it. We got 91 episodes in the
Wow.
pike. Not out yet. We got a lot scheduled to come out, but 91.
Yes.
So we approaching 100 real quick.
I'm blessed. There's just no way of looking at the value, but the people, the value. Like I'm ready for 100 more. Are you ready?
Absolutely. I mean,
I
because
know you are.
first of all, I love you, so I'm
Oh,
going to help you whenever. I love the whole podcasting thing, so
mhm,
this is what I do.
mhm,
And you've been a inspiration for me. I've we're both authors,
mhm.
um, but you have managed to take a step that I haven't been able to do. I haven't had a book signing. You've
And
done
I'm
what?
ready.
You've
I am
done three
so
of them. Three
ready.
of them. I haven't done a conference, but you've done an international conference.
Um,
So when I look at what's coming up next year, yeah, I've been promoting my movie, but some of the ideas I've had in terms of like relaunching my book,
right.
having a conference for fathers, that's going to be
Hmm.
coming in the next coming year, and
Come
I'm,
on. You
it's
know I love a challenge. Let's do it.
yeah, yeah,
And see what I love is like while I'm out doing my book launch and doing book tours, you're actually doing movie premieres. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it because this representation is all of that. I'm always be dope, let's be clear.
yeah,
But you've been doing your thing and
yeah.
I have to give you love just off of who you are and what you've done. So for the people that don't know, what you've done because I've explained the best that I can. Can you please let them know what is going on?
Yeah, so I produced and directed a film called The Standard,
Yep.
and it's the history of Alpha Phi Alpha at the University of Missouri Columbia. You can see I'm representing Alpha Phi Alpha. I'm a brother member of Alpha Phi Alpha.
That's where I met my boo at, child, just so y'all know.
So, you know, a couple of years ago, we were just off the pandemic and we got together as brothers. And I started seeing some of the older gentlemen that, had started our chapter and who had paved the way for us, went through all kind of trials and tribulations. And I started looking at them and I started saying, like, you know what? He ain't moving as fast as I'm used to seeing him move.
Right.
And then I looked in the mirror and I see all this gray that I got in my beard. And I said, you know what? We can't lose this history.
Mm-hmm.
This our us documenting our stories. You and I, we both have podcasts. Our
Right.
children, our grandchildren will be able to look back at these years to come and be like, damn, I know. my grandfather. I know my
Hmm.
grandma. I can look and see how they talked, how their voice sounded, their feelings about different things. So I decided to go ahead and, hey, listen, let's make this documentary. So it took about a year to do, interviewed several different people, and I crisscrossed the whole country interviewing people. And the thing that was the common denominator, and I couldn't put it together. Often you way ahead of me. You're always way ahead of me because um I've done 5 premieres for
Hmm.
this movie. We did St. Louis, Columbia, Missouri, Kansas City, Dallas,
Hmm.
Washington, D.C. And at the Dallas show, Dr. VicTORIEus was there showing out, supporting her boy.
That's right.
And
Now, what people may not know is how having podcasts honestly is an extra venture because it was us that encouraged you to continue to keep going.
yeah,
Just the support is unwavering. The same support that you give me, I'm always going to give you.
yeah,
And when the idea of your next place came up,
yeah. So we're gonna be in Atlanta
hmm.
and November 14th at the Terra Theater. But the thing about it is you were like, why didn't you allow me to talk about this with you? And I didn't see how it correlated because I'm like I said, you were always ahead of me. But in our recent episodes, when you talked about adult aces and how that impacts people, and I said,
Yeah.
well, this movie's all about that.
Hmm.
This movie not only tells a story about the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha, but it tells
Yep.
the story of Missouri,
Yep.
where a lot of where you're from.
Hmm.
I spent a significant amount of my life there.
Yep.
And when you talk about racism,
Mm.
bullying, that's all in this film. You,
Because they're going through it, I want to say right now.
they still are. It never
Uh-huh.
stopped.
Uh-huh.
So for those who aren't familiar about the University of Missouri,
Mm.
it's always been known to be a very racist institution.
Hmm.
And when you talk about just a Black student trying to attend the law school
Hmm.
and how they resisted that, when you talk about how the Black students just tried to be a part of the general campus
Yep.
and express themselves like other students were able to express themselves. They were accosted,
Hmm.
restricted, um, belittled by the university. And, a lot of people stood up. A
Yep.
lot of Black people, Black men and women stood up. And, this story just talks about it through the lens of Alpha Phi Alpha. Uh,
And the respect of it is, and how you say it makes sense from ACEs, because systemic racism is real. It finally got added to the CDC website, you guys. So if you didn't know, you can go to the cdc.gov yourself. But systemic racism is an adverse childhood experience. So, Dr. Torie, why are you saying that? I mean, we adults. What happens is we don't take care of our adverse childhood experiences, and we grow up and those carry on with us. And that's why we call it adult ACEs, because it's unresolved trauma that we never really did take care of when we were younger. So you got to look at the effect of what's happening. You did this story, and when I saw it, it was phenomenal. I'm not saying it just to get extra points. Let's be clear. It's a great documentary, and I think it needs to be everywhere. But even watching and seeing that we're still going through this, when we went through it in the 90s, what I loved is that actually brought us together. CMSU, which is called UCM now, and MU, we joined forces.
mhm.
We started our collaborative efforts and supporting each other because of the backlash at the university. So, yeah, I think it needs to be seen. I think people need to know, not just, I don't see it as a Alpha Phi Alpha story. I see it as a story that needs to be shared because it's happened to a lot of
It's
people.
Black history.
Happening. Mm-hmm.
It's Black history, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody can relate. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. Dr. Torie is a
Mm-hmm.
member of Delta Sigma Theta, right?
They know that
And
already. They
and
already
what's
do.
crazy is the women of Delta are prevalent in the movie as well.
And shut it down. I promise you, when I tell you, it was sorors everywhere. Not that I didn't think that they were going to be. I'm meeting some valuable people here in Dallas that really came to support and represent in regards of understanding the purpose of the movie.
Because
I,
there's a Delta woman who's very prevalent in the story. This is
mhm,
a Black history story. It's not just
mhm,
about Alpha Phi Alpha.
mhm,
And and just think about it. You and I both have children in college. And I remember when I took my youngest to college, my only son, and I
mhm.
dropped him off. And we got his dorm room together, and he was 5 hours away from home. And I was walking to the car and I was trying to hold it together. And then as I was getting close to the car, he yelled, he shut the door, and then he opened it back up and he yelled out, "I love you, Dad." And man, I broke down an ugly cry.
No, you did.
And I just thought about it because like I sent him away at 18, but you still you a young man, but you not a man at 18,
Yep.
right? And to think about the things that we went through in the
Right.
90s and looking at the things that our forefathers
Mm-hmm.
went through in the 60s, the
Right.
30s, and the 50s, when
Right.
it was much more overt, the type of racism that they had to deal with. I mean, there's a story in the film where Alpha Brother tried to he paved the way for Brown versus Board of Education and for
Mm-hmm.
you and I to be able to attend the university that we wanted to.
Right.
This
Right.
man, his life basically ended in a tragic way. I don't want to give
Mhm.
it away 'cause I want people to come and see the film.
Yeah.
But that's the pressure of that systemic racism and how it impacts
Yep.
us. And it hasn't changed. Hasn't
Right. And as long as you know what I mean? As long as people know, that's the reason why I feel like God placed you in this area in Atlanta so we can hit these colleges so they can see. There's a lot of struggle that happened. What I appreciate growing up in the 90s is what they went through in the 70s is not what we went through in the 90s.
changed.
But what we are going through, what the 2025 have to understand is we paved the way for them as well. Not to say that y'all don't accept it or respect it. It's going to be different. I just think that it's interesting that what you're going through now, we already went through. So there's no need to reinvent a wheel. You need to understand what you went through and how to understand this movement so you'll know how to move, if that makes sense.
No,
And
no.
I say that because we had no other choice. We didn't have the tools that they have. They have social media. We had to get out and do the things, whereas they can make an impact by coming together as a community and supporting is so important. And I think that's the reason why I love the movie so much because it adds so much value. It connects the 70s to us and then makes it relative for 2025. This
Yeah.
generation is definitely can relate. They can. They
And
may not stroll like we did because I can't do none of these strolls. Let's be clear. I can't.
I don't want to.
However, right,
I'm
right.
gonna stay old school with mine, but now
That's it.
definitely the movie tells how things haven't really changed.
Exactly.
And in some
That's what I mean.
regards, how it's a little bit more nefarious because at least back in the day, I remember walking across campus and somebody driving and just calling me the N-word. And then if you watch the film, you'll see somebody that, was attending Mizzou way after me
Hmm.
and was talking about how like, you know what? I was just walking across campus
Yeah.
and they just called me the N-word. And this
Hmm.
happened twice.
Hmm.
Now, the difference for me, I just, yelled and cursed at him back or whatever. But this person in particular, when you watch the film, he went and created a movement
Hmm.
based off of what happened to him.
Hmm.
And I think that's why it's important for us to do this in Atlanta,
Yep.
because you mentioned the different universities there. There's so many HBCUs there.
Hmm.
And I've always said that, we as Black people, we are much stronger when we are together. And when we
Yep.
are together, nobody can stop us.
Right.
But in order for us to be together, we have to understand one another.
Yep.
We have to understand one another. And I'm tired of the division. We
Mm-hmm.
see the division between black men and black women, the whole gender divide, the algorithm will throw that at you. And then
Right.
it's also the HBCU versus the PWI. What was better? Who had a better experience? Guess what?
Right.
We all black. That's the experience that matters.
Yep.
So I
I
want
think it'd be easier
everybody to see
now
that.
for everything that's happening right now. I think it'd be easy. I think it's again, I'm biased. I know that they'll get, regardless of what organization they're in, they're gonna get something out of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so again, I have to applaud you because you're out here actually making it happen, and it's happening naturally. Sometimes you got to put your guard down. I know it's a lot of work. I do. I know I've been watching you,
Mhm.
but know that your work isn't in vain and it's actually helping a lot of people, because there's no way that all of these doors are opening up for you if your purpose wasn't the way that it was. And I'm saying that sincerely, because we can have a conversation about it and I'll look and it's like, you did it. It's like, yeah, it's happening. So you gotta know when you're walking in your purpose and your passion, what you're doing, and you're doing that. I'm going to throw out there in regards to this book. I'm telling you now, since the conference is going to be in Dallas, we're doing everything. I don't care what you say, because at the end of the day, you're just as inspiring. He been having a book, y'all, and we are going to be working on our audio real soon, because this is something we said we
Coming.
were going to do.
Yeah, it's coming for sure. It's coming.
I'm just saying,
No, it's
you
coming.
have to. I I'm happy that you're finally saying I have a movie, because Marvin is a team player. If you all do not know, he is one of the most supportive people that I know. I always, any opportunity that I have a chance to share, I know I am my favorite producer in the whole wide world. I would not be who and where I am today, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you, without this young man. I just don't know. We got history, so you have to
Well, we're
understand.
gonna give the credit to God first, and then we can throw Marvin in there. So that's how we
I
do.
mean, that's not even a discussion. We know that, but you've been there for a very long time. Us Geminis value loyalty, and not to say it like that, but I do. I've always valued longevity, strength, and relationships. And seeing, we've had great days, and we've had not so great days. People may not believe it, but me and Marv get into it. However, when your purpose is intact,
And it's always your fault.
act up if you want to. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Act up if you want to. Let's be
uh,
clear.
yeah.
These people love you, but don't. Okay.
Yeah, you can't respond like you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm
Quiet.
gonna keep it PG. But no, I think people really need to know, like, and I will also share while we're on here, people have been seeing the clips of Conversate After Dark, and I'm gonna share. I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
because when it comes to aces and when it comes to relationships, that's a discussion all by itself. And people seen it already, and they was like, "Yep, I want in on it."
And
Marv does so much, y'all. Y'all just do not know. Swear he does.
you would add to say, why don't you have me on the show? And I was like, you Dr. Victorious. What you will come on my little podcast where I talk shit and so there's the
I
professional
cussed and
side.
everything.
There's the professional side, and then there's, the definitely, not professional side of me, that I can't expose while I have on my letters. But Dr. Torie came on the show, and because here's
I
the
cussed.
thing, ACEs impacts relationships.
It does.
It
Don't I know?
impacts it impacts your sex life.
Don't I know? Oh,
And
wait, this wrong show. Wrong show.
it impacts your sex life. And you coming on the show, and we're definitely going to have you back,
Hmm. Thank you.
because I think we have stronger relationships if we understand each other better.
Hmm.
And it goes back to what I just said in terms
Hmm.
of being able to hear one another and
Yep.
understand one another. Because you talked about it. You spilled the beans. The
Yeah.
times when you and I have gotten into our disagreements, really one of us was being stubborn and wasn't listening to the other person.
Hmm.
And then we just got frustrated and it got out of hand. But
Hmm.
once we understood where one another was coming from, it was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then we just moved on. And I
Hmm.
think that's something that the Black community needs more, is being able to understand. So that's why we have that show. It's called Conversate After Dark. You can find it on YouTube.
It's
Uh,
cool.
Me and my co-host Tay's in the same sorority as Dr. Torie, so we got the fire and ice thing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did real good. But you know,
I
another
love it.
thing, I'm gonna tell you, you talked about extracurricular activities all the time.
Yes. Yes, I do. I do.
So for our people in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
what we have done, we have partnered with Melanated Campout. They have a community service piece where they, Melanated Campout is an urban camping experience where they take, black men, black women, they go out, camping, have games. They
Mm-hmm.
call it glamping, right?
Okay. Hmm.
And they have added a community service piece where they take young women and young men and they take them camping. And these young men and young women are part of the juvenile justice system, right? So we are partnering with them, the DeKalb County Juvenile Justice System and Melanated Campout. And we have invited all of the children that are in that system to come and watch the film so they can get some awareness and knowledge about the college experience. And then we've also partnered with some different high schools, and they'll be bringing their Black Student Union, their mentorship program, and there'll be a discount for students. And we want everybody to come because,
I think that's
I
good.
talked about it, Dr. Torres talked about it, that extracurricular activities, being exposed to something different may help you because if you can see it, you can believe it, and you can achieve it. And for me, I was exposed to for my god brother was an alpha. And when I tell you I looked up to him, I looked up to him so much, man. I was like, dude, I want to be like Danny. And most of my family was Kappas, Omegas. So it was always that pressure to do that. And I was like, I don't look up to y'all. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all cool, but y'all ain't what it is. I want to be like Daddy. And then when I arrived on the University of Missouri's campus and I saw the brothers at Alpha Phi Alpha and I saw how they led and I saw how not only did they lead by, example, but they led, with what they did on campus, the organizations that they were a part of. I said I had to be a part of that. So everything that I do in terms of being an assistance to you with your ministry and your mission,
Mm-hmm.
all that comes from the lessons I learned from this fraternity, right? Serving.
Right.
And that's why I do what I do. That's why it's never a problem for me and you to make this ACEs message spread to the world.
Because we're doing it, we are doing that. And I cannot thank you enough because it's getting out there. We have to continue to have the conversation because look at how much the conversation has shaped and changed a lot of lives globally.
Yeah, yeah. When you had the conference and you were like, such and such is coming from here, such and such is coming from there. And I was like, oh, yeah, right. Because, I promote events. And I'm telling you, I'm going to go ahead and admit it. When the conference was going down, me and Dr. Torie was not in a good
I
space.
think everybody knows that. I think everybody
How
knows
they
that.
know? You've been running your mouth and telling them?
I know. I think everybody because they know that when I tell you my whole body reacted and I didn't do well, that was for someone. They didn't know it was you. You're confessing to that. I didn't say it was you. I think that they knew that something was going on though because I ended up having a seizure. So that's
Hold on,
not.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Don't blame me for the seizure now.
I'm not blaming you for the seizure. I'm not. What I'm saying is, when you are in stressful environments, and this is what people with ACEs understand and know, and this is what I've been educating people and letting them know, your nervous system gets impacted. Stress impacts your body, period.
Yeah.
It just so happens to react to minds differently because I have seizures. Other people may be able to carry their stress a different way. Me, the stress levels are going to increase and it's going to reactivate my symptoms and I have seizures. That's not anything that you did. That's just the fact that I'm in a reactive state and that's the result of my reactive state.
And
The reason
and
why people talk about um how ACEs has an effect on your physical. It has a effect on your mental and your physical.
yeah. And for anybody who has promoted an event organize the conference, it is a stressful occasion.
It is.
And normally, so I was in the throes of producing, directing the film, amongst the other things that I do. You were planning the conference, and we weren't getting along. And that was, I think it was impacting both of us in a negative way. Cause like, when have you ever seen like people who know us? Like I'm there, but I'm not, I'm like across the room and like we barely talking or whatever. So my point being not to tell all our business.
Yeah, we're
When you were
gonna cut
telling
all
me
this out.
about when you were telling me about such and such is coming, such and such is coming, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, right. We'll see. Then when I got there and I was like, hey, you were on the show. They was like, yeah, I was on the show. So everybody that was in the community to be able to see them in person and to hug them and to be like, Marv, how you doing? And I was like, damn, Dr. Torie pulled it off. So I
And that's
really,
what everybody said. Everybody, they were like, I remember that person from episode 36. I'm like, man,
and that kills me that they know the episode number. That it sometimes,
I don't want to put a number on them, but it's so
and
relative.
you do a great job. I have to give you your props of pushing me to be more, I guess, braggadocious or to pop my collar more. I'm from the old school where I'm just like, I love boxing. So there's a boxing promoter named Al Heyman. Al Heyman is known for like being in the shadows, but Al Heyman gets it happen. So I try to do that, but I really can't do that. First of all, I'm 6'3", big dude, right? So I really can't hide in the shadows. But then also, I'm always helping things happen. So you're
Right.
like, why aren't you talking about it more? Why aren't you talking about your book? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? And I'm like, it's not necessary, but it's necessary.
It is.
I
And
thank you.
that's why we're here, you guys, because I'm always going to advocate for what's right. And if you think about it, he's been to all of these cities. He's never really did this on the podcast. So I thank you for taking time out of your schedule because I have to let people know I think a lot of people don't know that I have a producer when they're doing the podcast. Oh, well, let me see if you can fit in, baby. I got a producer. It's a brag for me. You
Mhm.
can say whatever you want to say, but it has always been a brag. I don't have to do what other people do in regards to doing podcasting. I have someone that is willing to do it. So to take time out of your schedule to do this, in addition to everything that you're doing, I gotta give you your props. I gotta put you out there. I gotta brag. I have a producer, honey. I feel famous, honey, because guess what? My producer is out here making
Yeah.
movies.
And I,
My
and I think
producer has a podcast. My producer has not just one, but several, and he is out here on tour. You see how I sound? Don't it sound good?
it sounds good. But
Okay.
I think it goes back to those aces
Hmm.
because you remember I was like, oh, I'm a one. But then I started thinking about when I was bullied in
Hmm.
my hometown. Shout out to my hometown, Topeka, Kansas.
Hmm.
I will be coming back to Topeka to do something. We'll announce it, at the end of the year. But I am going to come back. I've been to all these cities throughout the country, but I haven't been back to my hometown. It's going to happen.
Yes.
But I came up, you talk about that bullying. You probably been through it like I have, where like you want to shine, you want to do what you feel like, hey, I could do that. Let me accomplish that. And then you hear people say, oh, well, you think you all that. Oh, you was up there, and they kind of try to poke at your confidence, poke at your self-esteem. So
Hmm.
then what's the response? You say, well, if I play myself down, they'll leave me alone.
Right.
But then when you really think about it, you like, it's only the people that ain't doing something that has something to say, because the people that have done something, they
Yep.
understand, how can I help you? Hey, keep going. I believe
Yep.
in you.
Yep.
That's how that happens. So
Yep.
even me playing myself down, that's a function of aces.
Yep. Oh, you are learning. Oh, this is so romantic because y'all have to understand we are in a community that people are really growing and they're understanding ACEs. And it's the reason why we have to have the conversation because the conversation is how you're going to understand and it's going to help you heal. And I love this. I love the fact that we finally got a chance to catch up because it's been a couple of
Yeah.
episodes where we haven't. We like our podcast is jumping right now. So
It
I
is.
love it. I love that more people are coming. I love that more people are learning. I also love that you are out here doing your thing, Marv. And so don't let one city, because I'll be honest, I was when I went to Kansas City for the book launch, I was like, man, they ain't give me no love. But look at what's happening now. I'm back in Kansas City. So
Yeah.
you just got to keep going. I can guarantee you when you go to Atlanta, somebody's gonna be like, oh my God, this is great. Why you not in such and such? And
So, you know, part of our story that people
mhm,
don't know, um, we will be taking the movie to Indianapolis next year. Yeah. We'll be taking it to Indy next year. Then obviously, those who, if you're connected to film festivals, you want to see the film, if you're on a campus setting, and you want us to come and show the film and talk to the students, definitely do that. But right
mhm,
now we're promoting Atlanta.
very
They
good.
want to see everybody out November 14th at the Terra Theater. And the Terra Theater is dope. It's like an old school theater and it's black owned.
Second come.
It's black owned, and we
Very
need
good.
everybody to come out. I was just there last weekend. I was on the Atlanta University Center in Morehouse, Clark, Spelman, Morris Brown, talking to people, talking to students, trying to get people out. So definitely, we want to see everybody out. Come and support the film. It's a wonderful film,
Yes.
and I know it's good, not just because of the work that I put into it, but
Right.
I have friends that'll tell you the truth.
I don't have no reason to lie. I
And
don't.
one of my homegirls, I'll just go ahead and say her name, Tay. Tay from CVAD. When Tay saw the film in DC, she sent me a text message, said, Marvin, I love documentaries. And this
Me
was
too.
great.
I
This,
do too.
this was great.
I
And,
thought it was
and
amazing.
what made it hit home for me is I know Tay, and I know Tay doesn't say anything that she does not mean.
Wait a minute. So wait, this whole entire time I'm sitting up here talking about the movie and you saying you talking about me. I said from the beginning, I have been your cheerleader. Tay know I love her, let's be clear. But if
Listen,
I say
listen. There's no reason to be jealous. I mean, everybody
I'm
gets.
not jealous, I'm saying you like, no, I knew it was real when Tay said it. I said it. So you should have been like, okay, then.
I just talked about how you pushed me to be greater.
That's right.
Okay.
A little jealous.
Now people like, damn. I thought Marvin Dr. Torie was all good.
Yeah.
Y'all seen a little bit. Y'all seen some of the inside, right?
Listen, listen,
Some of the scandal.
listen. Y'all don't even know. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you have to be vested in walking your purpose. And I'm here to support you. I don't think you should stop at all. I think it's added value to what you're doing, and it has helped you a lot. You're building a bridge for people to continue to have the conversation, not just in regards to understanding lineage. They can do that for the rest of their life. Like it's there. I seen it. It was like a whole generation of young men that I got a chance to meet. And I'm like, dang, this is the next generation. Wow. And they
And that's what mattered to me. And I thank you so much for sending me the video. My son was there, and I was able to bring him up front and to talk to him and to let everybody know that part of the reason of what I do is to try to set a good example for him. So
okay.
yeah, so we've been doing big things. Shout
We
out to
have.
us, and
We
next
have.
year it's gonna be even bigger, right? What
Yep.
we got going? We can kind of tease it now.
Well, I'm really excited about the ACEs Awareness Conference. By the time you get this, we will have things finalized, but I will let you guys know it's going to be an amazing event. I love the fact that it's in Dallas because of the fact that we've really kind of made our mark, set our expectation. People know what to expect, which means more and more people are going to come. And not to say it like that, but we've built the community. This community is the bomb. And I wouldn't be surprised if they also share, respectively, what we've done, because you got a lot of people that didn't hide that they've learned so much from the conference. You got a lot of these people out here getting doctorate degrees. You got people going back to school. You got people that are not just speaking in conferences, but they're speaking everywhere. They're putting aces out here even more. So just imagine more and more people having that conversation. Shout out to 300 Letters. I still keep in contact with them, y'all. Let's be clear. As a matter of fact, that's who needs to be back on this podcast, because the things that they're doing in the community, the things that they're doing down there, when I tell you, we got lucky, and I'm looking forward to the conference for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Not only the conference, but the audio book
Oh
for
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
Time to Talk About Aces, and
I
the
know.
audiobook for Mythbusters, Lessons from Active
Yes,
Black Fathers. And I will be having my conference next year. I'm going to just put it out there. I'm not as advanced
very
as
good,
Torie with all this.
very good.
Topeka, Kansas will be there. Dallas will be here too.
Hmm.
And then also, just the movie, The Standard.
Yep.
Definitely keep us in your prayers. Definitely come
Yes.
out. So all
Yes.
of our Atlanta family,
Yes.
all the people from CMSU, I still call it CMSU,
Yeah. Me too.
CMSU,
Yeah.
Mizzou, that are in Atlanta, all the alumni, come on out.
All the people that are in B Victorious Foundation, shout y'all out, because it's a lot of y'all out there, and I'm gonna let you know. I know.
Yeah,
I'm definitely knowing, especially at Spelman,
yeah,
because I gotta shout out my nieces that are there. Gotta shout out my nephews at Georgia State. It's some people out here. We can have this conversation, and we can definitely support this movie. So go ahead and join us. Let's go.
yeah. So come on out November 14th, the Terra Theater off Cheshire Bridge Road. We want to see the students. We want to see everybody. Come on out. It's an amazing story, and I look forward to seeing all of y'all. So
All right, you
that's it,
guys.
Dr. Torie.
Take care, you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.